Welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about Google Classroom, all the features of Google Classroom and how you can use it and apply it for better functioning of your classroom. So I'm going to use this talking feature, the microphone that you can see right here under Google. And we are going to say Google Classroom in here. Google Classroom. All right. So when I said Google Classroom, the first tab that you see here is actually your correct link that you would like to use to set up a Google Classroom for your class. Now, if you already have a Gmail account, you will have classes, already a Google Classroom account. If not, from your Google, you will have, if you have an education account, what you do is basically these are all your apps that you can use. There are many more apps on this more section right here. But for now, we will use this Google Classroom app also that you can use in order to add classes and do stuff. So I'm going to select this as well, just so you can see that this app is same function as the other one. All right, once our apps are open, what is the basic use of Google Classroom we'll begin with as my first point of discussion. So Google Classroom is an app that that can be used by teachers to save paper. And I have used it many number of times, and I have seen that it has helped me save a lot of paper. I do not need to make tons and tons of copies of worksheet if there's something I need to make an announcement for example, I teach math. I always upload math formula sheets on Google Classroom, and students can actually copy the formulas or questions off of Google Classroom account and go from there. So it is very, very useful and feasible. And as you go with it, you'll see that you're saving a lot of photocopies in the end. The good part is that students can also turn in their work digitally to you. So you will also see how many students have already turned in their work on time. It'll also notify you whether your students' work is late. A very latest feature is also Gradebook for Google Classroom, and for that I'll make a separate video. But in this video, I'm going to just give you an overview and how to add classes and have some more fun with it. So hopefully you can see my screen and you can see all my classes here. But just for this demonstration, I'm going to add a class with you. So on this over here on the this side here, you can see there's a button, a plus button. So I clicked on this top right hand side, this button, and it says join a class or create a class. Now, join a class will be usually for your students because they will be able to join your classroom, and create a class is mostly for teachers usually. And I'm going to create a class that I'm going to call a Google Classroom tutorial class. So we will call it Google Classroom. Everything is capital here, so this is better. And it'll be the same as Google Classroom video that I'm planning to. And section, we can call it professional development. Subject could be classroom, and then room. I'm just gonna go ahead and put my room here just in case. All right. So the moment I type that, all that information in here, you can see that it's creating a class for me, and it is showing to me that it's creating a class. So hopefully very soon this class should be created. Perfect. Now our classroom has been created. It'll be way faster than how it is. I'm making this video at home and my internet is not the best one, but at your organization or at your work, I'm sure the internet is faster, and I've seen at work, the class is created in microseconds. All right, so let us take a look at the feature here now. The screen that we are seeing is your Google Classroom tutorial class has been created just now. And you can see that there is a classroom code. I'll try to highlight it for you. Now, this is the classroom code your students are going to use in order to join your class. So this code is always going to stay there. So for example, if you have a new students as well, they'll be able to join your class with that as well. All right, let's go back to this feature here, and I'm going to show you with a different color here. There are two different things we can notice here as select theme and upload photo. So select theme is basically going to change this overall cover page picture for you. So I'm going to use the select theme feature and show you what I mean by that. So before that, let me use the eraser and clear this off. All right, so let us say I really like, this setup because I like my tea or coffee, so I would like to use this picture here. So I select this one and I say, okay, well, select this class theme and I want this as my class theme picture. So as you can see, the picture has changed right away as to whatever we decided. So this is something you can have fun with. If you don't like any of their theme pictures, you can always upload a photo that you like, something of your perception. And from here, you basically get a photo from your computer and you can change it to that. So, I mean, why not show you this feature as well? So I say, okay, well, I want to go to my computer and I want to figure out some pictures out of which I want to choose the one that I really like. So let us go through some pictures here and see which one will be a good one. Well, I feel like we are actually doing a flipped classroom here where you'll be watching this video at home and we can discuss this, whenever we get a chance. So I'm going to give a picture with flipped classroom and I'm going to say, well, I want this picture to be my cover page picture. All right, it is saying that the picture is really small. It must be, all those conditions that it has to be. So I say, okay, well, for now, I want to cancel it. I don't want to waste all of your time in picking the best picture ever, but you get the point that that is how we, get the picture. All right, so now our classroom is set up. The main three things that you really need to understand here are that on this top, you will see stream, classwork, and people. Now I'll go one by one on all of these and explain those to you. Now on stream is basically whenever you're going to stream, like how we say live stream on YouTube. That is basically it means that your classroom is also going to be like live streamed or you're going to assign assignments. So your stream is basically over here and you can assign anything to your students, whatever you feel like assigning to them, you click on this. So let's come out of this and let us say, well, I want to cancel this for now. So I cancel this and I want to share this again with you. I click on stream and on stream, under stream, I'm given an option to share anything with my class. This is a very useful feature. As to why? Because you're able to share anything important with all of your students. Now, on the bottom, you can see here a paper clip. That means you can assign papers along with it. You can make attachments. You can also add information or files from Google Drive. You can add videos from, this is the YouTube channel link here. This is something new. We didn't have this earlier, so that's pretty cool that you can add your channel's video link also. And then there's a shareable link that you want to share with your students. So, well, I want to welcome all of you to Google Classroom class. So I will write that down for all of you. Welcome to Google Classroom tutorial. And then for now, I just, I'm welcoming you. So you'll always have a code and you can join my class using that code. Um, I am going to also have an option here under all students. So I can say, well, I want to select all students. Right now, I don't have any students added, so it's not showing. But eventually, you will have an option to see if you want to assign it to all students or not. So, well, I have just welcomed you as my first part, and I click on post. The moment I click on post, it's posting. So when I have posted it, you can see that it has already, you can see it on your screen. Now, on the right hand corner, you see these three dots here. When you click on these three dots, you can see edit, delete, or copy link. For example, you are like, okay, I need to make some changes to my assignment, or maybe, I didn't send an answer sheet, or I didn't say, add more information about the rubrics as to how they're going to be graded. It can be anything, we always do stuff and then later on we think, oh, well, I missed out on that. No worries, there's always this edit feature. You click on the edit, it'll take you back to your announcement. Now I can say, okay, I want to add something more here. I want to add, okay, please feel free to ask any questions or share your comments. So, well, I'm inviting you to even, I'm welcoming you to my class and I want you to share some comments with me, or if there's anything anything I can learn from you on Google Classroom, I'm sure. We all are a team, so we can learn from each other. So I made that edit to my comment and I'm saving it right now. So the moment I save it, it's gonna put the new comment in that section. All right, so that was this. I'm repeating myself, here you have an option to change your announcement. And even in your announcement, when you go back and edit, you can always add more assignments to it, or you can add a YouTube link to it. So, you can always say, okay, insert a video. So you can add a video for them to watch. All right, for now, I don't want, to watch, for you to watch a video, but I'm going to definitely share the link of this video as your next assignment, maybe. All right, we'll just go ahead and save this. And the delete feature, goes the same way. You can just go ahead and delete it. Let us say one of your students says, well, Miss Mehta, I cannot, find the link to your Google Classroom announcement. Or at times, you have to share the information with the parents that, okay, this was the day when you announced this assignment and the student has not turned in, or, something like that. So you can always copy the link. And then when your link is copied, you can see on the left hand corner it says copied link. So now in your email, when you go back to your emails, you can always paste that link and send that information to any specific student or parent. All right, so that was it. We are going to now move on to, on the left hand corner, you can see these three bars here. So I'm going to click on these three bars and I'm going to share with you as to what these three bars are for. These on the home button is basically all your classes. So I repeat, I went to the home button, I clicked on all the classes and it's going to show me all the classes I had this year. So as you can see, our Google Classroom tutorial class is already here with 0 student, and it is under professional development. So I'm going to share an example of one of my classes here where I'm sharing, information about their finals and stuff with them. So, like for example, this was done in November 14th, 2018. So all the information is right here, and I can still go ahead and edit it if I need to. And I have attached all the projects copies here. So, I mean, this was my experience in 2018. Also, I can share with you that there was no photocopies needed. I uploaded everything here and my students were already in this class. So on that note, I will also share the people feature with you. So when I click on the people feature, I can always see all my students. Now, how will your students join you? They will join you using the code, or you can send an invitation to them. I'll show you how to do that as well. Well, classwork feature is going to be basically when you're creating an assignment, a quiz, a question, material, reuse an old post, or you creating a new topic. So the most used feature is assignment and quiz assignment, and that is where you'll assign them classwork. And we are going to do this, delve more deeper into it very soon. Now, calendar is going to be the next feature here on the left hand bar. Now, calendar is whenever you have already embedded your Google Calendar with your Google Classroom, It's going to actually, tell you when the assignment is due and reminders to the students as well. So it's a good idea to embed your calendar with it. So it's showing a little calendar feature here as well. All right, to do is something I don't use it a lot. After that, you can see that our Google Classroom tutorial class is already in there now, and along with all my other classes also. A very cool feature about your on under your three bars is as you go down, you can see that you have your archived classes and settings. I will first go to my archived classes because an amazing thing is all my old classes, all the classes that I deleted or archived, they are still there. So honestly, nothing is lost. Even if you, by mistake, if you deleted a class, you can always bring it back. Now, this is a very old class of mine. So I say, okay, I want to, let me see which is the one that is not going to be a big confusion. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and do this Math 151. I click on this right hand corner on the right three dots here. I say restore. The moment I say restore, Google asks me, do you want to really restore this class? You and your students will be able to interact with this class again. The class will be shown in classes and in the classroom menu. So do you really want to restore the class because it's going to become an active class then? I say, well, yeah, go ahead and restore. And now it's restoring the class for me. Let's go back and check. Um, Oops, I messed up. Sorry. I wanted to press this tab here. I go back to my classes. I think it was Math 151 with 9 students, and here it is. So it's an active class. Let's go ahead and archive it again. So you click on the class button here, and you can archive it or you can delete it. So it'll be gone soon. So it's asking me again, do you want to really make this class go away? I say, well, yes, I want to make it go away, but then again, all class files will remain in Google Drive. Now, also in your Google Drive, everything will stay saved. So I say, okay, well, just archive it from my Google Classroom. On the drive, it'll still have all the material. All right, with that taken care of about archive classes, I'm sure you'll like it because, all that data that you feel like you have lost, it's still there. So you can always go back to the old assignments that you always wanted and again assign them to your students. Now we go to settings feature. On the settings feature, the first thing is profile. Your profile and your profile picture will come up, which is basically your Google account picture. And then you can always go to your account settings and you can change those settings on under manage when you click on manage. All right, so it says, okay, all this information is given to you, personal information. This is pretty much related to whatever you do here is going to reflect on your Google account. I don't want to do all those deep changes, but I really wanted to share this with you because it pertains to Google Classroom. After that, notification. Now, every time a student comments on your Google Classroom feature on any announcement that you made, you will always receive an email. Now, if you're a regular Google Classroom user, you'll get tons and tons of emails, and then it could become a nuisance at times when you're busy teaching or when you have other important emails to take care of. So, if you really don't want those email notifications, then you can take a look at the comments later. You can always deselect this. So, what will happen here is now that I will not get any email notifications. All right, so now we'll move on to the next one, comments. Comments on your posts. Do you allow people to comment? Or, at times students you can't like always trust, what's going on in your comments. There are times, there is cyberbullying as a big issue. So if you really don't want people or students to be commenting under your posts, you can always deselect that as well. So right away it applies that setting. Comments that mention you, if they use your name in the comments, they won't be allowed to do that. Private comments on work, you can deselect that also if you don't want that happening. Classes you're enrolled in, if you want work and other posts from teachers, You can select that or deselect that. Returned work and grades from your teachers. If you want to hear back from your teachers, I would suggest your students really need to have this setting open. Invitations to join classes as a student. Invitations should be open because in case you send an invitation to your student. Due date reminders for your work is a really good one because then the students will be reminded about a big project that is due for your class. Classes you teach, late submission. Late submission is really what I like because it actually shows me that the student's work is late. So I keep that notification on. Resubmissions of student work is also allowed by me. I mean, they already know in the policy that the late work, if they are turning it in late, they will have some percentage taken off, but still they're allowed to resubmit the work once. Invitations to co-teach classes, and I'll share more with you about that, how to send an invitation to another teacher to co-teach a class with you. Scheduled, post published or failed. So scheduled post, if you want to schedule a specific post and if it didn't work or no, those notifications if you want or not. I at times turn them off. Turn email and mobile notifications on or off for a class. So that's something your students can always go to under their phone settings as well. Some students use their cell phones to turn in work, some students use laptops. So um, it's very user friendly on the whole. Now you can always go back on classroom settings also, or there's another way. Anytime you want to go back to your home screen, you just go down here. This should be one of, if you're in education, this is one of the important app that you'll always go to, which is Google Classroom. Now, whenever we click on that, you'll see that it is taking you back to your home screen for Google Classroom. And we will go to our main class that we talked about, which was Google Classroom tutorial is the class I just created with you. All right, now we are going to talk about the people. And people is basically, you can also add teachers. So I'm going to click on inviting teachers. I can invite other teachers. And in this one, I'm going to invite another teacher who is also my subscriber. So I'm going to send her an email and invite her to join my Google Classroom. So she's going to be here, and then I have the authority anytime, I can remove the teacher or, add another teachers. I can do that. Now with students, they can always have that code, or you can click and type a student's name. That's another way of, adding students for your Google Classroom. For now, I'm not adding any students, but if you would really like to join, this is the classroom code. We will go back to stream, and the classroom code is actually the good part is they'll always have classroom code available. And when you click on the classroom code, it'll actually be displayed in a bigger fashion for your students. So I usually leave it up there on the smartboard for my students to see. That way they can always join my class. All right, once you have this code, remember you can always join my class using this code, and I click cross on it. Let's come to classwork now. Now we come to classwork, and basically this is going to be your meat part of Google Classroom. You can always assign assignments to your students on this. So what you basically do is this plus sign tells you to create. You actually create classes, I'm saying, sorry. You actually create assignments, quiz assignment, just one question. So let us say I want to assign a question here. Instead of assignment, I just want to discuss a question with all of you. So, what is the best use of Google Classroom for your class? So, I mean, how can you use Google Classroom the best for your class? Or we can say, in other words, what is, I mean, to better word it, basically, what is one of the best advantage of Google Classroom? And it's an open-ended question. So, I'm posting this question here, and for instructions, I can say, okay, students, please share your responses. Oops. In at least 3 sentences. Now I've explained it to them that I really want them to have minimum of three, maximum they can have, like a little short paragraph about what they want. Now here, I have points possible. Now I can say, okay, I can click on ungraded if I don't want it graded right now. But I can always say, okay, I want to change it to 100 points, or, maybe let us say 50 points for now. All right. Due date. I can click on due date. So no due date means there is no due date for this, but you can always add a due date and time here. And when I click on that bottom arrow, I can actually go to the calendar here. It comes up for me, and let us say we decide the due date to be this Thursday here, 13th June, is when we'll end this discussion. So it's saving all my work here. And a topic, no topic. I just have to um, use this screen here. And then if there's something, any article that I want my students to read, anything that I feel like is useful for them, I can click on this attachment and I can say, well, I want you to select some information either from my uploads, from my recent places where I went to, my drive. Drive is the Google Drive. So let us say I want to add something about Google Classroom. I don't have any articles or anything on Google Classroom right now, but I did download an article. So let me check if I can show you. Hmm, well, I don't see it. So select files from your device. So from my device, I just downloaded an article on Google Classroom. Let's see if I can see that. Well, there is a way to search downloads also. So there it is. I found my article. It's actually not an article, sorry. It's a PowerPoint on Google Classroom. So I'm going to say, well, I want you to add that PowerPoint onto my assignment so that my students can go through the PowerPoint and then answer the question. Well, my PowerPoint is right here. I just tell Google Classroom to upload this for me, and it's doing it for me. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is not the best, but I hope it gets the job done. Maybe because it's a PowerPoint, it's taking tons and tons of time, but you get the idea, right? So let me take a very, very simple, file or just one page maybe. That way it'll be simple, short, and sweet for you, and it won't take that much time. All right, I'll just take this picture or screenshot. Let me see if this comes up. Now I'm going to delete that later. There we go. Okay, so please don't, for now, don't see that it's related to it. It's not at all related. I just was trying to save your time. All right, well, we are all set. We are done. We have attached a file. Students can reply to each other. That is a setting you can do. I like to, at times not select it, but when it's a question, it all depends on how you feel about it. In my case, I sometimes feel uncomfortable when students are replying to each other, and they may use, not a very nice language. So I usually just leave that alone. I just want them to reply to me. Students can edit their answer. That is something I really want them to be able to. Well, now we are all set. So let us ask this question from the class. So this was the question feature. The moment I do that, you can see that the students will be able to, you're even able to see it, and the students will also be able to see. You can still edit the question. And then as you see more reports about it, you will be able to see what students are doing on this or no. So just now, as we posted a new question, it came up as an update that we asked this question from the students. All right. So the other part that we can also see is an assignment. And assignment will be where students will be actually turning in their work to you. So we can call it, Google Classroom, PowerPoint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the PowerPoint later on this. And then the assignment will be that study the PowerPoint and develop sketch notes. And then maybe it could be study the PowerPoint and develop Google Classroom for your next year classes. Well, this is the assignment we are considering. It's going to be 100 points. Please don't consider that, I'm treating you like a student. It is just for fun. There are going to be no grades, but it is just so that you can understand the features of Google Classroom. So, just for, well, our new school year is starting. So, in August. So, maybe probably by 25th July, we can say that our Google Classroom will be ready, or 18th July. So, all right, that is a Thursday. So I'm assigning that to you. I did not do any attachments yet, but all these assignments that I'm assigning, you can see that they are coming up here. On stream, again, just now that I did the assignment, it is showing me again the assignment. Now on the left hand side, you can see upcoming, no work, due soon, view all. Now what does that mean? It means basically it's going to show me the assignments for the classes that I am a student for. Now for your students, it's going to look different. They will see whatever is due for them. It's going to remind them, okay, all this is due, so you better get on it. You should work on this project. All right. I also wanted to show you one last thing and then I'll let you go. I know this has been a long video. Excuse me. So we'll click on this class, let us say, and move to the top. Now, anytime, let us say you want to do another activity and you want it to be the latest one on your page. So you click on move to the top, and then when you move to the top, that activity, it's going to be moved to the top again. So it's a really useful feature because at times, there are formula sheets that are repeated so many times that I just like to, move them to the top again for the next semester. We are using pretty much the same formulas that we needed in the last semester as well. I always go ahead and move that post to the top. So let us say I want to move this one to the top as well. This is all my projects information. So I can just go ahead and move this to the top. So it moves it to the top right away for that class. Now for this class, the classwork, I can assign more class or more assignments to my students. And wherever you have assigned, students are going to start turning in the projects to you. So, I mean, if it's a paper assignment, they will turn in the paper assignment. Let us go back to Google Classroom tutorial. If it's a question, they are going to turn in the question and you'll get a notification here that students have started responding to you. And in my next video, I'm going to delve deep into how it's going to look like when students do turn in the work to you. And I'm sure when we have more people joining in this Google Classroom tutorial, you will be able to see more and do more with it. There's another feature, gradebook feature, that I'm going to discuss in my next video. I'm deliberately not sharing it in this one because I'm sure this video is already really long. One more thing before I let you go is that your Google Drive and your Google Classroom are embedded together. So you can always go to your Google Drive and, as you know, class drive folder, and basically it makes a folder for you on your drive for that specific class automatically. So I did not create this folder in Google Drive. I just created this class just now. But when I click on Google Drive folder, it takes me to the Google Drive folder on Google Drive, and I can have all my worksheets, all my assignments all set up right here, and I can use them over and over again. So I hope that makes sense. Now, as you can see, on my drive, I never uploaded this, but under my Google Classroom folder, this picture that I already assigned as an assignment is still there. So, it's right there under that class. So it's going to help you, organize your information or worksheets better. And all right, this is something we did not talk about, and my goal was to really talk about it. So I'm going to quickly go through this. Where did I click on? On the right hand side, right before this app thing, right before it, there's a settings button here. So I click on it, and then it actually gives me the details of that classroom, description, professional. So let us say I want to type something about the description. So um, an overview of Google Classroom. All right, and room and everything, all details are here. And then on the stream, you can say, okay, students can post a comment, students can only comment, only teachers can post a comment. If you don't want your students commenting on the stream, you can just say, okay, only teachers are allowed. So that way, um, students can only comment is what I allow. And then classwork on the stream, it'll show notifications to you. And then show deleted items. Guardian summaries is something we will delve deep into in my next video. I'm also planning to make a Google Classroom video for students so that they understand how to use Google Classroom if they are the first timer. On the right hand side, you have the save button. It is going to save all your settings. Always remember all the settings wherever you want the power to control the comments being posted is right under on the right hand side here. So I'm sorry that if the video was really long, but I hope I took care of a lot of features on Google Classroom on here. And remember, your students can always join your classroom using the code. And I hope your Google Classroom is a big, very useful for you. And please let me know what your comments, your questions, comments, or any compliments. I'm ready for all of them. And I'll see you in my next video. Have a good one. Bye.